Why the almighty BVAS can fail even on election day? Well, first and foremost, this video is not politically motivated or sponsored, so please don't come for me. I'm just trying to open our minds and our eyes to other aspects. Our politicians or corrupt people can come against us with this BVAS that we're actually clamoring for and thinking is the solution to election malpractice and all that. So let's get straight to the video. One, they can say poor network connectivity. I mean, that has already been flying all around. So some areas in Nigeria have weak or unstable internet device. But then most people were asking if money points POS can work in some areas where you won't even see a network signal. How then can Nigeria not invest in this BVAS to make sure network connectivity is not a problem? And then a particular person came up and said BVAS can still work even with poor network or internet connection, meaning it can work offline. Then later when they are collating, they can actually sync everything to the central database. But then that is where a breach can occur. You understand? So under the guise of poor network connectivity, syncing, uploads, or communication with the central system or speed of operation, there can be a breach there. That is why it can fail. And at the end of the day, BVAS might not actually produce the right results that you may be expecting. Power and battery problems. In my video, I had already stated that BVAS is a digital device and definitely it depends on power and battery, right, to keep it running. And we also have power issues in Nigeria. What if election officer comes and says, well, this is down, the device is down, or maybe while charging over the night, the battery exploded or the charger went bad or some flimsy excuses. They say numbers don't lie, computers don't lie, right? But actually, the people behind these devices can lie and manipulate the device, right? Also, sometimes computer can just wake up like this. Your laptop, they kept it was working well all through the night, only for you to turn it up in the morning and it doesn't come up, or your phone or whatever, it brings some strange line. That's where they can also capitalize and say, well, some polling units might not be able to take votes because of these issues. Let's talk about fingerprints or face verification problems. In my previous video, I highlighted the fact that BVAS also captures fingerprints, and that's biometrics, and also facial recognition problems. Sometimes you're at the bank and you have to keep licking your tongue or something. You have to wash your face just for the camera to capture you, or you have to lick your tongue, wash your tongue with what they call it, sanitizers again, before it can capture. That can be a reason, or that can be a spot these people can capitalize on or exploit. Corrupt people can exploit this fact and say, well, the BVAS was not working, it was not capturing the fingerprints, how could we take votes? And there's a breach there. Also, human error. A lot of people blame the machine alone, like I always said, but trained operators too matters. And we all know Nigeria. Officials might not be well trained, settings might be mishandled, troubleshooting is poor. I mean, we are not there yet technologically to handle some things. You get, people will be panicking under pressure and they will not go and push innocent coppers to be in charge of all these things. At the end, it's people's children that might suffer for all these things, because people like, but this thing is working, why it reach my turn? What, when they do corruption or something like that, before a fight might break out, lynching, beating, or stuffs of electoral officials and the rest. Meanwhile, human errors too can be a breach. They can say, well, we don't have trained personnel, or trained personnel didn't show up. And if these people didn't show up at the election day because of so and so reasons, then let us move to the manual process. So let's talk about device faults or technical breakdown that can happen even on election day. And please don't get me wrong, that this thing might happen by natural cause doesn't mean people are trying to breach or corrupt the system or whatever, you get, or people are trying to kind of compromise the system in their favor. These things can happen. Like any machine, a BVAS can develop a software issues. Like I said, you can just turn off your system and turn it on in the morning, and before you know, your window is crashed, window is corrupt, you understand, or your port has stopped working, hardware faults, screen problems. Nobody sat on your system, nobody laid down on it, or there was no pressure on the screen. Before you know, you see line, it goes black and all that. Booting issues, it takes time to load, and system lag. What I would say is that in as much as we've pinned our hopes on BVAS and the fact that it should work and all that, this video, like I said, is just to enlighten us on other things that can go on in as much as devices or digital devices is concerned. A lot of things can really go on, and for people that are technically or technologically smart, there's a lot of loopholes they can capitalize on. So as we are clamoring for things like this, we should also be looking at what are the measures. Maybe in my other videos I'll work on countermeasures. How can we make sure this doesn't fail, or what are the right measures that must be put in place in order for things like this to not happen? I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Don't forget to leave your opinion in the comment box below. Don't come for me, don't come and bash me. Like I said, this video is not politically motivated. I'm not supporting any party. I'm just a tech guy trying to expose our minds to things we might not be seeing, right? Thank you very much.